Modern football is obsessed with intricate passing and the sophisticated art of building from the back, but one team at the 2026 World Cup is getting ready to throw a rock through it all. While giants like Belgium weave their tactical tapestry thread by thread, New Zealand plans to tear it apart with a strategy as old as the game itself: the long ball. This isn't a story about a lack of technical ability. It's a calculated and radical choice. It's about whether brute force, when applied with intelligence, can dismantle elegance. Here's why New Zealand's seemingly simple tactic might just be a stroke of genius. Elite football today has a very clear picture of success. It's patient, it's controlled, and it's about slowly suffocating your opponent through possession. Teams like Belgium, New Zealand's upcoming Group G opponent, are the poster children for this philosophy. They build attacks with the precision of architects, using geometric passing and fluid rotations to pull the opposition apart and create space. It's seen as the peak of footballing intelligence. And then there's New Zealand, the classic underdog, armed with what many would call football's most primitive weapon. Their plan is brutally direct, and on the surface, it looks like an admission of being second best. But it's not. It's a challenge. Section 1, the gospel of build-up play. To get just how radical New Zealand's plan is, you have to understand the orthodoxy they're rebelling against. For the last 20 years, the best teams have been disciples of possession football. The core idea is simple: if you have the ball, the opponent can't score. But it's grown into something much more proactive. It's about control, but it's also about provocation. A team like Belgium doesn't just pass for the sake of it. They use their backline to draw the opponent forward and invite the press. Every square pass, every drop of the shoulder from a center back asks a question of the other team's defensive shape. Are you going to press here? And if you do, what space are you leaving behind? The goal is to create one moment of indecision, a midfielder stepping out too late or a fullback pushing up a yard too high. In that moment, the trap springs. The tempo flips in a heartbeat. Players who were strolling are suddenly sprinting into open pockets of space. The ball moves vertically through the lines, and a slow, methodical sequence becomes a devastating attack. This is the tactical elegance personified by Belgium. With a maestro like Kevin De Bruyne pulling the strings, they orchestrate everything, shifting the attack from side to side while waiting for the defensive block to break. Wingers like Jeremy Doku provide the explosive threat, ready to exploit any space they find. This style demands immense technical skill, deep tactical understanding, and the courage to play out from your own goal. It's beautiful to watch, and for many, the purest way to play. Anything else, especially the long ball, is often dismissed as dull, a tactic of last resort, or so the story goes. Section 2, the underdog's Gambit. New Zealand will enter Group G knowing they can't and shouldn't try to outplay Belgium at their own game. Coach Darren Baisley hasn't built a team to mirror the European giants. He's built one specifically to break them. This isn't because of a lack of ability, but from a smart assessment of their own strengths and the weaknesses in their opponent's style. While Baisley has described his team's style as courageous and possession-based in other contexts, the World Cup demands a different kind of courage. The courage to be direct. Their strategy is a conscious rejection of the modern obsession with build-up play. Instead of passing through a high press, they've chosen to go over it. And that's a crucial distinction. New Zealand isn't just mindlessly hoofing the ball forward. Their long ball approach is a calculated system designed to turn an opponent's greatest strength, their aggressive press, into their biggest weakness. The All-Whites will arrive in North America with a clear identity. They'll likely use a compact 4-2-3-1 formation that, without the ball, becomes a disciplined low block. They will cede possession, sometimes happily, soaking up pressure and frustrating teams used to setting the tempo. They'll defend their box with numbers and grit, relying on experienced players like center back Michael Boxall to organize the defense. But this defensive shell isn't passive. It's a coiled spring. The whole system is built for the moment they win the ball back, and in that instant, there's no thought of a slow build-up. The first thought is forward. The pass is direct, a long ball aimed into the vast space that a high-pressing team leaves behind. This isn't an admission of inferiority, it's a declaration of tactical intent. New Zealand's plan is to bypass the midfield and take the fight straight to the opponent's vulnerable backline. Section 3, Deconstructing the Press. The why. So why is this old-school tactic potentially a stroke of genius? The answer is in how the modern game has evolved. The high press has been the defining tactic of the last decade. Teams push up the field to win the ball back in dangerous areas and control the game's flow. It's an aggressive front foot strategy that requires incredible fitness and coordination, but it comes with a huge risk. To press a team effectively in their own half, you have to commit players forward. Your defensive line pushes up to the halfway line, sometimes even further, to squeeze the pitch. While this suffocates the opposition, it also leaves a massive amount of space between the last defender and the goalkeeper. For a team brave enough to test it, this becomes a glaring weakness. And that is exactly what New Zealand's strategy is designed to exploit. By sitting in a low block, they'll encourage Belgium to push forward. The center backs advance, the fullbacks take wide positions, and midfielders flood the attacking half. This is exactly what New Zealand wants. When the ball's turned over, the pitch suddenly opens up with acres of space. This is where the long ball stops being a hopeful punt and becomes a precision weapon. A single, well-directed pass from a keeper like Max Crocombe or a defender can bypass Belgium's entire midfield and forward line, 7 or 8 players taken out with one kick. The target isn't just a player, but the space, often the channel between the center back and fullback, forcing defenders to turn and sprint toward their own goal. This creates chaos. A structured attack instantly becomes a desperate defensive scramble. Suddenly a forward is racing into 40 yards of open space. The numbers are even, 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. The chance of creating a quality opportunity from this situation is far higher than trying to break down a settled defense. The long ball is no longer a lack of ideas. It's a strategic choice to exploit the very foundation of modern attacking football, the perfect counterpunch. Section 4. The target man and the second ball. A plan to exploit space is only as good as the players running it. For New Zealand's long ball strategy to work, it needs a specific type of striker, and in Chris Wood, they have the perfect man for the job. Standing at 191 centimeters, Wood is a classic target man, but calling him just that doesn't do justice to his game. His role isn't just to win headers, it's to be the focal point of the entire attack. During his time in the Premier League, with clubs like Burnley FC and Nottingham Forest, Wood has refined his craft against elite defenders. He isn't just a goal scorer, he's an outlet. When New Zealand is under pressure, the long ball to Wood acts as a release valve. He uses his strength to shield the ball, win aerial duels, and draw fouls that allow his team to regroup. But his most important job is linking play. When the long ball arrives, Wood either flicks it on for runners or holds it up with the defender on his back, giving teammates time to push forward. This is where the second ball becomes crucial. The long pass is only the beginning. The real battle is what happens next. As Wood challenges in the air, midfielders like Sarpreet Singh, Matt Gambit, and Elijah Just sprint toward the drop zone. Their job is to win the second ball high up the pitch and attack before the defense can reset. With 45 goals in 88 caps, Wood is his country's all-time leading scorer, proof of how effective this system can be. Section 5. The Clash of Philosophies. In Group G, this tactical blueprint will face the ultimate test. Against Belgium on June 26th at BC Place, the mission will be clear. Absorb pressure from their patient build-up, stay compact to deny space for De Bruyne, and then launch the ball over their high press to Chris Wood, turning their strength into a weakness. It's a classic rope-a-dope strategy designed to frustrate a superior opponent and steal a goal on the counter. The match against Egypt national football team on June 21st presents a different challenge. Egypt's main weapon is the transition threat of Mohamed Salah. Here, the long ball serves two purposes: attacking the space behind the defense and reducing the risk of turnovers in dangerous areas that could trigger a Salah counterattack. The opener against Iran national football team on June 15th in Los Angeles may be the most balanced matchup. Iran is physical and disciplined, much like New Zealand. The game will likely become a battle of attrition, where success depends on winning second balls and capitalizing on set pieces. Of course, the plan carries risks. Fatigue is a major concern, especially with the heavy travel schedule New Zealand faces. Maintaining a compact defensive block and constant second ball pressure for 90 minutes is exhausting. If that intensity drops, the low block can become passive, inviting relentless attacks. And if the passes to Wood stop sticking, the pressure will quickly mount. While the footballing world is captivated by the beautiful game played by teams like Belgium, New Zealand is preparing to remind everyone that there's more than one way to win. Their long ball strategy isn't a throwback. It's a modern, intelligent response to the dominant tactics of today. It is a recognition that for an underdog to succeed, they can't just be a lesser version of the favorite. They have to be something different entirely. New Zealand is betting that directness can beat intricacy, and that a single targeted pass can be more valuable than 50 sideways ones. Whether this brutally simple plan can dismantle the elegance of their Group G opponents remains to be seen. But it proves that tactical evolution isn't a straight line. It's a fascinating clash of ideas, where the old can become new again. And the simplest plan might just be the most brilliant one. If you enjoyed this tactical breakdown, be sure to subscribe for more analysis throughout the 2026 World Cup. Let us know in the comments how you think New Zealand's radical strategy will fare. Thanks for watching.
Smart fans don't just watch, they analyze. Over 100,000 thinkers strong. Join us on the road to 250,000. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Subscribe and raise your football IQ.